I got goals in mind, I got peace in mind. All these things align, all these dreams of mine. It's better than yet, it's better than yet, it's better than yet, it's better than yet. I got goals in mind, I got peace in mind. All these dreams align, all these things in mine. It's better than yet, better than yet, it's better than yet, it's better than yet. Maybe I pull up a run up, another with commas and commas. Is that what you need to feel good? A product and products? Living the feeling I feel, surrounded by family and loved ones. Nourishing the diet or buy it. Nothing to live in, I rock with myself in the highest. Sucks if you take it, you take. The reason we leak it, we stuck with the fake or the fake. None of the hate, never mind me. I just distaste what I see, take back and I hate what I hate. Yeah. Never the cheat, he never will leave. I got goals in mind, I got peace in mind. All these dreams align, all these things are mine. It's better than yet, it's better than yet, it's better than yet, it's better than yet, I got goals in mind, I got peace in mind. All these dreams align.
Yo, Sneak This Podcast episode 406. No George here, obviously, doing an episode from the closet this week. Unable to make it to the studio this week, but I did want to make sure that I get an episode out this week. I appreciate everybody who likes, subscribe, and share this podcast. George and I will be back in studio next week. Not a long episode, not too long. Not a whole lot of topics to talk about, obviously. You know, majority of the stuff that sneaker-wise will probably revolve around just releases and a little bit of All-Star Weekend or whatnot. Do want to touch on a few other topics. Some of the topics have already been probably beat to death, talked about, but some people have asked my opinion about it, and I said I would talk about it on the podcast, and we didn't record last week, so I didn't get to do so I will touch on a few things, but it's some few things to me that's very important and, you know, stuff that I feel like, you know, it's my responsibility to say, and I know a lot of times on this podcast, we don't talk about a lot of certain things or whatnot, but you know what? This is the last year of this podcast, and actually, I want to say something real quick. I might extend the podcast to March next year, because then if I extend it to March next year, I think that would be 10 years on the dot. If we're not coming up on 10 years now, I don't know. So I feel like that'd be better. Plus All-Star Weekend is here next year. And I kind of want to see if I want to do anything podcast related to All-Star Weekend. So I don't know. We'll see. So, but you know, like I said, I'll talk about pickups today, unboxing. Actually, I have no pickups because I'm not buying anything in 2026. I mean, I did pick up something, but it's not of the usual. I'll do an unboxing. I always do an unboxing of something in my closet that some may not have ever seen or something that you haven't seen in a very long time. And then obviously I have a few topics to discuss today. So not a long episode, but man, like I said, I appreciate everybody who's been rocking with the podcast forever. You know, it's been a very long time. And, you know, I know some, you know, actually a lot of people have expressed, you know, they don't want it to go. It's one to look for. One of the last, you know, real opinionated, real true sneaker podcasts. You know, but it's time. You know what I mean? And, you know, I'm 99.9% sure that it's going to actually end next year. Like I said, probably extend that out to after All-Star break at the very least. But, you know, it's been a great ride. You know, I have nothing to, you know, complain about. You know, I did everything my way. I think shout out to the homie Mike on I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. You know, he asked me, I can't remember what he asked me, but it was like something specific to like, you know, do I feel like I've done what I wanted to do in podcasting? And yes, you know, I feel like I have 100% contributed to the culture. I have set a standard and a baseline in sneaker podcasting. That's a fact. I'll even go as far as to say we birthed a lot of sneaker podcasts and even some other podcasts that exist out there. This is fact. I know a lot of other podcasts would be like, no, I was going to start my podcast anyways. No, you weren't. You saw how Easy George and I made it look. And you said, I think I can do that too. And I applaud it and I appreciate it. And I want everybody to go out there and listen to all of them. Okay. Never changed up when doing this podcast. Me and George stayed true to ourselves forever, regardless of any opportunities that didn't come our way, any opportunities that did come our way, and we turned them down. Like a lot of people don't know, A lot of people see other people outside and doing certain things and they think like, yeah, Sneak Diss ain't doing that. That's because a lot of times I've said no a lot of times. I After a few years of doing the podcast, accepting free sneakers and t-shirts and stuff like that as payment is just not. No, I'm not. Oh yeah, that's cool. Come to our event. We'll let you in. And if you don't mind, would you mind getting on the mic and talking about I don't is there a bag with a dollar sign on it? Because I'm not doing that for a free pair of Jordan 6s. No, thank you. I got plenty of sneakers. Plenty of stuff. And not to say that I don't appreciate the offer, but it's just that, like I said, we've done things our way. We've stayed true to ourselves. We made a huge dent in sneaker culture. We've built a cult following from the ground up. And it's just very appreciative. So, but let's get right into the show. Got a lot to talk about. Not a whole lot, like I said, but just some things to talk about, just something to get you guys through the week. I appreciate everybody, our blue collar workers, our white collar workers. This show is to get you through your week just a little bit easier, get you through working in that cubicle, get you through riding in that public transportation, get you through busting your butt out there grinding every single day, man. It's to help you get from A to B throughout the week. And I'm glad that we can be a part of it every single week. Like I said, I appreciate everybody who likes, subscribes, and share this podcast. Next week, like I said, we'll do an episode in studio. Not sure what type of episode it may be. Usually we do a Q&A episode where we have listeners send in as many questions that they want, and George and I usually answer them. I think we may do that next week. And I think we're probably going to do top 10 sneakers of 1990, actually 2007. Since we did 2006 the other week with Don, I'll probably have Don come back next week and we'll do 2007 next week. So we'll probably just go to 8 to 9 to 10 and just work our way all the way up to present day, probably potentially. Just sort of keep that going. All right. Pickups. As you guys have known, if you've been listening to this podcast or watching this podcast on YouTube, I appreciate our viewership as well. I'm not buying any sneakers in 2026. I sort of explained that on the last episode with Don. I just feel like it's time to see if I can actually do it. I know I've said it before, and I've been doing great. I haven't bought a single sneaker all year. I've had some close calls. I'll tell you that. I've had some close calls where I got a lot of stuff in cart, but I just haven't really bought anything, and I feel good about it. I don't feel like I've missed out on a single thing. I feel like I'm standing true, to what I want to do, and it's allowed me to sort of like clear my head of unnecessary stuff. I don't know, what's coming out next week without looking it up. You know what I mean? It's allowing me to like uh sort of replenish my brain and my daily thought process with something other than sneakers. And I get it. We do a sneaker podcast and we do it very, very well. But it's okay. And I feel like a lot of people should do that. A lot of people give up drinking, a lot of people give up smoking, etc. and all that. I don't do either one in excess. So it's sneakers for me. I did pick up some draws though. Some underwear. I had no choice. All right. I mean, now I did have to return them because they were the worst underwear I've ever put on my life. Now, typically, when I wear underwear, I wear either Ted Baker, Ralph Lauren, or I'll even wear this other brand. I don't know what it's called, but I can't remember. But they're all black. I usually wear them, and I've been fine with those. Now, those draws get a lot of holes. All right. I don't care what name is on your elastic strap. Now, I ain't never owned no Gucci draws or no Louis draws, but my underwear look like shredded wheat. That's when I always say to myself, thank God I'm married. All right. For those when you married and you got yourself a girl or guy or girl and girl or whatever you like, when your drawers are shredded wheat, you ain't got to worry about it. Because I'll tell you something, if I was out there trying to date, if I wasn't married, I'm out there in the streets trying to date, oh my gosh, my drawers would be cooked. All right. But I bought some Hanes, which I haven't bought a bag of Hanes underwear in no joke, probably about 15 to 20 years. Now, I thought, you know what? I done spent a lot of money on these other ones, Polo, Ted Baker, etc. I'm going to go back to Hanes. Now, I'm going to go ahead and buy the premium. I made sure that joint said premium on them. They're awful. I don't know. I returned them joints. So I'm back to square one. So if anybody got any underwear suggestions, please let me know. Unboxing real quick. So like I said, every single time I do an episode in the closet, not every single time, but majority of the time I do an episode inside the closet, I always unbox something that you either have never seen before or Haven't seen her in a very long time. I've been doing a lot of rearranging. My wife has demanded more closet space in here, so I've had to move a lot of sneakers around, drop some off at places, put some in other rooms and stuff like that. But as I've been going through sneakers, you just find pairs of doubles and triples and things that you just haven't found in a or seen in a really long time. I found a lot of pairs that and I know I'm not the only one. I know a lot of people listening to the podcast. You've done this before where you find a lot of pairs that you just forgot you owned. But I did find a very unique pair, and I might have done an unboxing on this podcast about this already, or maybe posted these on social media. I can't remember anymore. I'm an actual old man now. All right. But I do have a pair of Vans, and I know, Vans, let me tell you something. I got Jordans, I got Nike runners, Air Maxes, Reeboks, Classics, DMX, Fila's. I got Converse, I got Shell Toes, Adidas, NMDs, Pure Boost, Ultra Boost, whatever. I got Y3, I got Ronnie Fieg Asics, I got Gel Light 5s, Gel Light 3s, I got Gel Light Sagas, I got New Balance 997s, 1500s, 998s, 992. I have a ton of sneakers. And yes, Vans are my favorite. I'm from California. I like to go outside. We like to wear shorts all year long. We have a beach. So yes, Vans are in my wheelhouse. I buy a lot of Vans, but I buy a lot of everything else. Vans to me go with everything. So every once in a while, like I said, when I go through my stuff, I always find a pair of Vans that I always forget I had, or just maybe didn't like after I got it in hand. But I will be unboxing this pair. It is, I think you can see it in camera, it is the do-it-yourself Vans, old school joints. This is a very, very unique pair. I think I sent a picture to George, Andy, and Rico a while ago when I found these in the closet because I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm going to do with these. I did want to post these online just to see what anybody says. Sometimes you like to flex, some things. And maybe this ain't a flex to some people, but it's a flex to me. You know what I mean? I love unique sneakers, and I love sneakers that I've never seen anybody wear before. But these are do-it-yourself Vans. And this is how they look. So let me go ahead and get these out of the box for you guys. Hopefully you guys can see these on camera. If you're listening to this podcast or watching this podcast, listening to this podcast in your car or in your headphones, this is one you may want to go to YouTube and check it out if you care about my unboxings. And I've said this a million times. Unboxing sneakers is not my favorite thing to do. There are plenty of people who do a way better job at unboxings. So if you don't like my unboxings, I don't care. But this is the do-it-yourself Vans. It is all blank canvas, and it is all Velcro, all right? Now, Velcro has two pieces. The two pieces you put together, the one that has the little hooks that sort of rip it off, and then the furry part. This is made of all the furry part of the Velcro that you're going to stick something to. Now, like I said, this is the do-it-yourself pair of Vans, and these Vans also come with this bag, all right? This pair of Vans come with this bag right here, and this bag is very unique. This bag has all these pieces to do it yourself so you can build your own pair of Vans, essentially. Design your own pair of Vans, essentially. Now, it gives you a pretty decent amount of options to Velcro on your Vans and design your Vans. A lot of them I would probably say are pretty whack, but I think it's a creative idea. So, like I said, it comes with a bag of Velcro pieces so you can design your own Vans. So, I'll show you just real quick, just an example. I'll get a piece of each. I'll get this back tab, lace. I think this is a toe box piece. And I don't know what that is. And I'll get a Vans logo. All right, so I selected these pieces right here that I'm going to go ahead and stick on my pair of Vans to kind of show you how this works, all right? So I'm going to go ahead. I don't even know where these pieces go. I'm going to go ahead and start adding pieces to this. What is this? See, this is why I haven't wore these, because if I gotta build the shoe, I ain't got time for all this. You know what I mean? I maybe have the time for it, but I just don't want to. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and put these pieces. What? All right, I could be completely doing this wrong. I have no idea where these pieces go, but they're all Velcro pieces, so I kind of feel like it really doesn't matter where you put them. Man, I have no idea where this piece goes. Either way, I'm just gonna throw that on top right there just to sort of prove my point. And then I'm gonna go ahead and what? That's all I'm doing. All right, I don't know. But you can go ahead and add Velcro pieces to the Vans and design them yourself. The pieces are supposed to go specific places. I have no idea where this big piece goes. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I know what this big piece does. So you can sort of, in a way, turn it into a slip-on Van by covering up the laces. Oh, that's what it is. I remember. You see, it's been a long time. I think I've probably had these for about 6 years, maybe a little bit longer. But what this gigantic piece is right here, it allows you to turn the old school lace Van into a slip-on. So you just Velcro that piece on right there, and it comes off. And like I said, the bag had a few patterns in it. The piece comes off. And if you can have it as lace as you want, you can add lace hole colors if you want to it. And then like the back tab pieces and whatnot. Just a little something I wanted to show or whatnot. I'll be honest with you. Just showing that right there, that joint sucks. I might wear it one day, but man, that is way too much work to wear a sneaker. But hey, I do an unboxing every time I do a closet episode. So, all right. Now that I got that out the way, let's go ahead and do releases. Shout out to my dog, George. Like I said, I couldn't make it to the studio this week, so I decided to just do a closet episode to make sure that I gave you guys something to ride to and listen to throughout the week to help you guys get through the work week. I'm going to go ahead and do releases off the GOAT app like we always do. This is George Willhouse. I am awful at it, but I will go ahead and do my best, all right? So the first one that we got that I'm looking at right here looks like a Air Max 95 OG 211. I don't know if the 211 is an area code. I'm not sure exactly what these represent, but they're not bad. I don't think they're bad. I sort of like the perforated leather on the side. I will tell you this. Nike has been killing with the Air Max 95s the last end of last year, the beginning of this year. I could probably say there may be only one or two Air Max 95s that I don't like, and I'm not an Air Max 95 guy. Air Max 95, I think Don and I talked about it last week. It's like a mood. It's like you put it on one day and you're like, man, these look awful on me. But then you put it on another day and you feeling it. Like, you know, you super feeling it. I'm an Air Max 1, Air Max 97 cat, you know what I mean? But, you know, Air Max 95s, they doing their thing this year. I would tell you this, if I was buying sneakers this year, I would definitely have already had about 4 or 5 Air Max 95s that have come out this year. We have the New Balance 992 Salehi Benberry, the Calm Be the Crater. They were originally labeled as the green. I'm not a fan of these. I think the midsole being an olive green, it just doesn't look good to me. But I could definitely see those who are like super duper fanatics of New Balance definitely rocking these. And I would probably say if you're a New Balance fan, rock these. And I do think the New Balance 992, it is a top 5 New Balance model to me. The greatest New Balance model of all time is the 1500 to me. Greatest model of all time. There's also a women's Jordan 6 low blackout. If you like it, I love it. But let me tell you something. Jordan 6 lows are one of the worst looking sneakers ever. There are some sneakers that just do not need a low top version, and the Jordan 6 is one of them. The Jordan 6 low and the Jordan 8 low are two of the worst low top sneakers of all time. To me. We got a Reebok DMX Series 3000. All right, let me tell you something about this model. I think it was beginning of the year or beginning of February. I don't remember when it was. End of January, whenever it was. Packer had like, I don't know, call it a secret release, but they just randomly dropped a Reebok DMX 3000. Is that what it is? Series 3000 on their website, like an exclusive colorway to Packer. Nobody was expecting it. Joint sold out extremely quick. I am a Reebok connoisseur, especially when it comes to DMX models. I mean, I've unboxed multiple colorways of DMXs. I got the original. I got at least 2 or 3 pairs of the original DMX joints that came out. I got them joints when they came out. I still got them. The original DMX pairs. Before Ultra Boost exists, the DMX was the most comfortable sneakers of all time. And it still may be. You know what I mean? I haven't had the, pleasure of trying one of these yet. But I will be buying one of these in the beginning of 2027 after my celibacy from sneakers is up. Is that what it's called? I don't know. That may be what it's referred to. I will say, though, with this model, though, the colorways, I don't know yet. This colorway that's coming out this week is like, it's a citrus black with like a gradiated yellow and purple. The colorways of a sneaker can easily ruin a model. I know a lot of people don't agree with me, but let me tell you something. I firmly believe that you can like the colorways of a sneaker and don't like the model. And I firmly believe that you can like the model of a sneaker and not like the colorways. I've been in arguments, actual all-day arguments on social media with people who feel like, how could you like the colorway of the sneaker but not like the sneaker? It's easy. How could you like the model but you don't like the color? It's easy. And this Reebok 3000, super duper fire, but you gotta figure out the colorways a little bit better. To me. We also got a Reebok Angel Reese Muted Mauve. I love the Angel Reese one. Like, I do. I think it's a super duper clean model. I think it's definitely better than a Sabrina 3. I would even, make the argument that it might be better than a Sabrina 2. The Angel Reese 1 is a super duper fire sneaker, and I feel like that sneaker and the Engine A are the 2 sneakers that I went, Reebok are on the right path, but they have to figure out just a few more things. All right. Also this week is a women's Jordan Air, not Air, but like Air to the Throne, Series 2, lucid green and pink. It's not a bad sneaker. It just looks like a Luka. You know what I mean? It looks like, I'll tell you this, when I look at certain models of sneakers that come out throughout the year, I feel like when I'm looking at it, I go, that was probably a Luka sample and they really liked it, but they didn't want to scrap it. So they just repurposed it into something else. That's what this looks like. It looks just like a Luka or even a Jason Tatum. It looks like this is easily could have been Jason Tatum's model or Luka's model, and they repurposed it for something. And I know nothing. I could be absolutely wrong about this. I know nothing. All right. But I'm just saying it has way too much of a resemblance to the Lukas and the Jason Tatums to me. What else we got here? Oh, Lord have mercy. We got the Nike GT Future Copper Egg. Look, I don't have to reiterate how I feel about this sneaker, but I will tell you this. I feel like this GT Future is just a super duper misstep for Nike. I really do. I've only seen on social media, and this doesn't even mean to me that they actually wore it, but I've only seen 2 or 3 people, fit it up with that joint. One person was definitely outside. She was a girl outside. I don't know where she was, a sneaker store or some shop. And she had the biggest pants I've ever seen on top of them. So it was almost irrelevant for the sneaker to look the way it was if you're going to throw some gigantic pants on top of it. This GT Future, you want to know how I know it's a misstep and bad by Nike? Excuse me. You want to know how I know the GT Future is a misstep by Nike? Is that we just had All-Star Weekend. All-Star Weekend consists of a celebrity game, like a Rising Stars sort of rookie game, a 3-point contest, some type of shooting stars competition, the dunk contest, and the All-Star game. That is All-Star Weekend. Not one time did any player, even a celebrity, in quotes, wore this sneaker on the court. That's how I know it's a misstep by Nike. It cannot be a basketball sneaker that nobody wants to wear to play basketball in. Because guess what? It's not a strong enough sneaker. It's too unique of a sneaker for anybody to wear it outside. As I said many times, you're not Wale. I'm not Wale. You can't just throw that joint on and go outside. I don't care how good you think you dress at all. I dress good. All right. I don't care if you agree or not. I know I dress good. I can't pull that off. And neither can you. Now, some of you may be like, oh, yo, I take that as a challenge. Challenge yourself, and I'll tell you look whack in it. So you send me a pic of you wearing it, I'm going to tell you look whack in it. And if you throw a gigantic pair of pants on top of it, that's cheating. It doesn't count to me. What else we got? Looks like Vans off the wall with something OAMC, like an Oxford sneaker. It's like a camo pair. You know, it's a nice little casual joint. Now cats can get these off. Them joints is clean to me. Looks like the Levi's Denim 3s come out this week. I'm going to tell you something about this. I'm not a fan of denim sneakers at all. Me and George have talked about it on this podcast for years. We've never been fans of denim sneakers. Now, we can both, George and I, easily look at a pair of denim sneakers and go, oh yeah, them joints is cool. Them joints is clean. The denim 4s, Jordan 4s, them joints is fire. Am I going to wear a denim 4? Absolutely not. There are some Asics that came out that are all denim. Fire. I like the LeBron. It was a EXT, all denim, James Dean. They were like the hot pink, and I was okay with those. These right here, they're growing on me. When the pictures first came out, I went, man, come on, stop. But throughout this week and this weekend, I was like, man, they growing on me. They're okay. I'm definitely interested in seeing who distresses the denim first, which I'm assuming that's going to be Skate, because I feel like he made a post sort of like with the tools and all the needed materials and stuff out to distress them. So I definitely want to see what they look like that way. I really don't care for the black pair or the white pair. The blue pair is obviously the best. I think if I had to pick a second pair that I think is the best, I would probably pick the white pair, surprisingly, even though I don't have much intentions on wearing sneakers that have that much white on them. But the joints is fire. Not fire. They're almost fire to me. I don't know. They're growing on me. That's the best you're going to get out of me. They're growing on me. All right. That's the best you're going to get. All right. We also have the LeBron 23 Honor the King. We've sort of talked about that before. It's a weird way to honor Martin Luther King. Also, I don't know why these are coming out on February 24th when Martin Luther King Day already passed, but blessings. And I believe that's pretty much it. I think I probably went way further. Oh, there's a Jordan 6 PSG silver. Look, there may be, I think maybe around 6 pairs of Jordan PSGs. I think maybe 1 might be okay. Maybe 2 might be okay. I think there might be a 5 that was okay, a Jordan Low 5 that was okay, and the Jordan 1 Low that had like the graded pink. I think that was okay. But as far as when it comes to PSG and Jordan Brand, it's one of the worst marriages I have ever seen. The clothes are awful. The hoodies are awful. The jerseys are awful. The sneakers are awful. I do not understand that marriage whatsoever. PSG needs to separate themselves from Jordan Brand and just get strictly under the Nike umbrella. Get away from this Jordan Brand stuff. I just threw away 2 PSG Jordan jerseys that I had because the paint had scratched off of them ridiculously fast already, and they were one of the ugliest things I've ever seen in my entire life. All right. That's pretty much all I got for releases this week. Like I said, if you want to cop, knock yourself out. If you like it, I love it. But there is a lot of whack stuff that's coming out. Yeah, I think that's it for releases. All right. So I do want to talk about something that has already probably been talked about many times on other podcasts and many shows and everything like that, and has probably been talked about to death, but for some reason is still very popular on social media. A few people did ask my opinion about it, and we had planned on recording last week, but we didn't, so I didn't get the opportunity to. But I do want to talk about the Bad Bunny halftime performance. Honestly, it just makes me sad. It just it just really makes me sad on where we are as a country. Um, I don't know any of Bad Bunny's what he's saying at all. My wife listens to Bad Bunny. That has been literally, and I've probably heard Bad Bunny playing and just didn't know what it was, but it makes me sad that all of a sudden people just can't be different for 11 to 13 minutes. Like, you just can't be different for 11 to 13 minutes. It's sad. The fact that, and let me disclaimer this. I have no problem with people voicing like, man, I kind of wish this was, in English or, something. I have no problem with you voicing that. That's not an issue to me. But voicing it and then making it a divisive tool for absolutely no reason is embarrassing. It's embarrassing. You can't feel different for 11 to 13 minutes. You can't watch something and appreciate the effort, the work, the art that goes into it for 11 to 13 minutes because you feel different. I don't know Spanish. What do I do? I'm embarrassed for you. Like, I'm embarrassed for a lot of people. If you can't feel different for 11 to 14 minutes, 11 to 13 minutes, we can't be friends. You can't come to my parties, my birthday parties, my kids' birthday parties, because they're going to be different than yours. You can't come to my church. It's going to be different than yours. You can't hang out with me because my friends are going to be different than yours. You can't have dinner with my family. Our dinners are going to be different than yours. You can't feel different ever. I can't be friends with you. I find it embarrassing how a particular part of the country is willing to spend millions of dollars, waste a ton of time just because they didn't want to feel different for 11 to 13 minutes. They're willing to create their own halftime show because, God forbid, they feel different for 11 to 13 minutes. And that's just sort of indicative of this country. You would rather waste millions of dollars, waste countless hours and time because you can't feel different for 11 to 13 minutes. You're embarrassing. I could care less if you want to hear this. I could care less if you care what I'm talking about. You're a weird person. You know what's funny is, like, the group of people in the half, or the amount of people who were just so against this that they would refuse to watch it. They didn't say anything like, you know what? When the halftime show comes on, I'm going to go outside and play catch with my son, or go outside and ride bikes with my daughter, or go walk the dog for 11 to 13 minutes. No, we need our own halftime show. It's embarrassing. They didn't say, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and go make a sandwich, make some food real quick, take the dog for a walk around the block, go outside and play catch with my son for a little bit, maybe ride bikes with my daughter or color with her for a little bit. And then when the halftime show is over, I'll get back to the game. They didn't say that. We are going to waste millions of dollars, waste tons of time, and completely be divisive in this country and make our own halftime show. Embarrassing. You're weird people. And if any of you actually tuned into that, you're a weird person. And you're not American as far as I'm concerned. If you can't feel different for 11 to 13 minutes, you're a weird person. You're not American and you're no friend of mine. I don't care if you like what I'm saying or not. I don't care if you come back and listen to this stupid podcast ever again. You are no friend of mine. And then I see people like, well, There are just some people that prefer country music. No, 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 no. That wasn't the argument. The argument was, man, we've had hip hop for the last 2 years. We've had, pop. We've had, whatever else, other genres. We haven't had a country music star in a really long time. That wasn't the argument. The argument was that Bad Bunny speaks Spanish. An American citizen is going to speak Spanish and make you feel different for 11 to 13 minutes. So don't come talking to me that like, well, some just wanted to do a country show, country music. No, it's racist. It is. I don't care if you want to hear this or not. I don't care if you like it. It's racist. You want to know how I know it's racist? This is what's ridiculous, right? This group of individuals who is just so against this and been pushing this nonsense about English and whatever, has been parading Nicki Minaj all over social media and with Donald Trump and all this stuff for months. How come she wasn't one of the performers at your halftime show? Why? She speaks English. Why not? Oh, because you wanted to make it country. Yeah, I bet you did. It's just utter nonsense. You couldn't feel different for 11 to 13 minutes. So you just wasted time, a bunch of money, caused a bunch of ruckus and nonsense and fighting on social media because of Spanish. You're embarrassing people. And as far as I'm concerned, you might worship the devil. You're weird people. Like I don't care how you feel about what I'm saying. And I don't care if you came to this podcast. I only want to listen to sneakers, Greg. I don't care. Guess what? I have talked about the Bad Bunny sneaker endlessly on this podcast. I wear Bad Bunny sneakers all the time. It's one of my favorite sneakers of all time. I have at least 5 to 6 pairs. So, I'm sorry. I had to get that off my chest. But if that Bad Bunny performance, music is about a vibe. If you ain't never heard some Spanish music and didn't start moving your shoulders, me and you, I don't know you. I don't know you. I don't care if you black, white, Asian, Puerto Rican, Mexican, Hawaiian. I don't care what you are. If you ain't never heard any type of music and just got a little vibe to it, like, okay, I don't know what's going on here, but okay, you're not a friend of mine. Oh, and another thing, I'm a fan of Stephen A. Smith when it comes to sports. I don't view all of his sports takes as like, oh, he's right on. Oh, man, good job, Stephen A. I don't. A lot of it is entertainment, but some of it makes you go, I didn't think about it that way. And some of it is just straight up facts. Any of his other conversations with regards to politics and anything cultural related, or shut up. Like, I don't curse, but shut the F up. Shut up. I don't want to hear you on television talking about you agree with Donald Trump, that it would have been nice to hear some of the music in English. I'm definitely not going to listen to that from a man from New York. I'm not going to listen to that. You don't have to speak on everything. You don't have to comment on everything. You could have just let that one go ahead and float away. I wish a lot of personalities would let some topics just float away. Nobody is on the edge of their seat wondering what Stephen A. Smith thinks about Bad Bunny's performance. Nobody. Nobody. And like I said, I'm a fan of Stephen A. Smith. But shut up. You get on TV talking about you agree with Trump and you would have been nice or something. You know what? Let me play this clip of Stephen A. Smith, okay? And I had this queued up already because I was like, you know what? It was such a clown action of him to even say that, to even speak against the music, to even say I don't care. You couldn't feel different for 11 to 13 minutes, and I don't care how much praise you get. See, that's what I also hate as well. I hate when people love to mask how they really feel under like this false praise. Like, yo, Bad Bunny's killing it. Yo, he's been doing his thing. Yo, but it would have been nice if it was in English. I don't care how much praise you get. Once you drop that real underlying feeling of what you thought about it, all that praise goes out the window to me. Let me play this clip of Stephen A. Smith. This is how you know when you're dealing with people who just got no business talking about certain things, because one day you one way, the next day you another way, and you just come off as goofy. Listen to this.
Blanco de Puertas y nos encontramos con Stephen A. Smith de ESPN. How are you, Stephen?
¿Cómo está? How you doing?
I was going to ask, how's your Spanish?
It's not good at all, but I'm working on it. I just need to be inspired. I need somebody to teach me how to speak Espanol, so I'm working on that.
Maybe you can find someone to help you with that.
I'm looking for it.
I heard you love Latinas. Is that true?
I do. They've never loved me. I don't know. I guess I'm just not that attractive. I don't know what to say, but I've never received that kind of love, because trust me, had I would have accepted it.
Well, al Blanco de Puertas y nos encontramos con Stephen.
And they shouldn't love you. You sitting there with a beautiful reporter speaking Spanish. Ay, ¿cómo está? You want to speak Spanish? I want to learn Spanish. I would love for someone to teach me Spanish. I haven't found somebody teach me, and I love the Latin women. Man, shut up. That's why just let certain topics float away. It's okay. I promise you, nobody is on the edge of their seat like, man, I can't wait to hear what Stephen A. Smith has to say about Bad Bunny or this topic or that topic. Stick to just doing first take sports topics and move on. Oh, I love the Latin women, but they don't love me. They shouldn't. I hope they never love you. I hope they never, ever show you any love. Ever. This planet is weird. I saw something in the news that said, like, Earth is about to end. Man, hurry up. What else I got on topic today? All-Star Weekend. That's right. Oh, Lord have mercy. All-Star Weekend. All-Star Weekend, obviously, every single weekend around the midpoint in February, end of February, towards February. With this past weekend, obviously festivities start Friday through Sunday with the celebrity game, and then like your rising stars sort of rookie game. And then Saturday, you have your shooting stars competition. Then you have your 3-point contest, your dunk contest, and obviously it wraps it up with the All-Star game at the end of the year. All-Star Weekend will be in Phoenix, Arizona next year, so you will probably catch me outside. How about that? Actually, you may catch me outside. I don't know. It depends on how I feel when the time rolls up. But if I be outside, I'm going to be with a few cats. Like, I want to be with a lot of people and a lot of the homies. I don't want us to just go out there and drink like crazy and hang out and just post up. I may even go out there and buy all the sneakers just to do it. All right. One last hurrah for this podcast, Let's talk about the dunk contest, if you will. All right. 3-point contest. Fire like always, shout out to Damian Lillard. I even enjoyed the little shooting competition the Knicks won. Brunson, Allen Houston, and Cat, they won that competition. I actually enjoy that. I enjoy that type of competition. I enjoy I enjoy the fact that a lot of them, actually are happy that they win. They put forth effort into it. Let's talk about the dunk contest for a second. All right. You know, it, this dunk contest, no joke, might have been the worst of all time. And I think we've said that numerous times before because I feel like obviously all of us are like creatures of the moment. And I feel like every single year we watch the dunk contest, we all go, that might have been the worst one I've ever seen in my entire life. No, this past dunk contest, no joke, might have been the worst dunk contest I've ever seen in my entire life. First of all, it was only 4 contestants. I don't know if it was NBA.com or SportsCenter, but they posted before the dunk contest all the contestants, and then like you swipe on Instagram and then it shows like in-game dunks that they've had. Those in-game dunks were some of the most regular dunks I've ever seen in my. They were so regular, you should have just called them layups. That's how regular they were. And I go, if this is what we got to look forward to, oh, I know this is cooked. Jackson Hayes, that plays for the Los Angeles Lakers, he did a East Bay between the legs dunk in a game against, I think, the Chicago Bulls. All right. Jace Richardson, son of Jason Richardson, a slam dunk champion and a super high flyer, a baller, just a baller, may have single-handedly put the nail in the coffin on we will never see superstars in the dunk contest. He actually, I don't know if it had been confirmed, but he almost got a concussion. He tried some type of dunk off the side of the backboard, hit the side of the backboard, and fell straight on his back, and his head bounced off the floor like a basketball. That single moment in slam dunk competition history might have single-handedly put the nail in the coffin on why we may never, ever see a superstar in the dunk contest ever again. This was by far, to me, the worst dunk contest I have ever seen in my entire life, and I've seen dunk contests all the way back to 87. Watched them. Shout out to homeboy on the Heat who won. I think his name was Kareem Johnson. I could be messing that up. I had never seen him in my life. I watch a lot of NBA. I've never seen him in my life. I've never seen Jace Richardson in my life. The only one I knew was Jackson Hayes. I don't even remember who the homeboy was off the Spurs. The dunk contest at this point is irrelevant. Now, obviously, a lot of shows, a lot of podcasts, a lot of sports shows, and people want to have the same discussion every single year. How can you fix the dunk contest? Let me tell you something. If this right here isn't enough for the commissioner of the league to say, we are now going to scour the internet, scour the world for some of the best dunkers and let them put on a slam dunk competition show, then I don't know what is. We will never have change to the dunk contest if this dunk contest didn't finally put that in motion. It will never change. Let me tell you how you can fix the dunk contest. I will even give you maybe a slight way to convince. They don't even got to be superstars, just stars. Just when we go, hey, oh, shoot, he in it? Just stars in the dunk contest. Let me tell you something that NBA players hate. I don't know about NFL. I don't know about NHL. I don't know about soccer. I don't know about baseball. I don't know about any other sports on how players feel or think. And this is just my opinion about the NBA. There's one thing that basketball players, you could tell that it kills them on the inside, is when they can tell that the NBA doesn't need them anymore. It hurts. You can see it. You can see it on LeBron now. How he's acting, body language, a lot. He's not the man anymore in LA. Luka's the man, and he hates it. Even though for years, please, I want to play with better players. Now he's playing with one of the best in the entire world, and he don't want to give it his all. But that's a different topic for a different day. You send a email out to the league and you tell all the players, and hey, thank you, we appreciate it. We no longer need your service in the NBA dunk contest. I promise you, they will feel a certain way, like, You then put together a team of individuals who will just sit on YouTube for hours and find the best dunkers that they can find, and you will invite them out. The fact that the dunk contest is only 4 contestants now is insane. The dunk contest shouldn't be no less than 8 contestants. You tell the NBA players, you know what, thank you. We no longer will be using you. The dunk contest will now be a celebration of basketball, not the NBA, of basketball as a whole. And we're going to invite people who are willing to dunk and be creative to this dunk contest. Oh, and by the way, NBA players, no, you can't sit courtside. No, you can't sit courtside and watch. You can sit 3 rows back. We're going to let people who want to sit there and watch participate in the action and watch the show. We appreciate it, but you don't need to be courtside watching this, because if you don't want to participate in it, you don't even need to be courtside. I promise you, they'll feel a certain way. You invite some dunkers that you find on YouTube, the internet, social media, or whatnot, and they go out there and put on a show and kill it. It will make NBA players feel a certain way. I know a lot of people think, yo, you got to give them money, then they'll do it. No, they don't care about money. Especially if you're talking about how can we get superstars to do it or stars to do it. Superstars and stars already make 200 plus million. They're not $1 million to them. If you say, I'll give you $1 million, no thanks. 2 million, I'm good. I already make 200. Money is not going to get them to do it. And my suggestion may not even get them to do it. That just may be just too far gone. And that's fine. Make the dunk contest a celebration of basketball. It doesn't got to be NBA related. I don't care if one of the best dunkers in the world is in high school. Let him put his little high school uniform on and come out there and put on a show. You want to know how I know this All-Star weekend was bad? When the celebrities they kept showing was Chris Tucker, Fat Joe, 2 Chainz, Key and Peele, man. I don't know which one it was. And that was about it. Those were like Guy Fieri. Those were all the celebrities that they just kept showing over and over. That's how you know it's getting bad for All-Star Weekend. The seats were empty. You could do all the tricks you want in a stadium. You could see empty seats. They turn out all the lights around the seats. Every single light in this arena, it was dark. The seats were all black. And they just kept having those little flashing lights to make you think somebody's sitting. Nobody was there. It was empty. All-Star Weekend tickets should be the most expensive ticket should be like $2,000. And everything else should be under. And $2,000 should be able to get you courtside. I'm sorry, it should. I've seen some tickets for like $5,000 and $7,000. No thanks. Scour the internet for the best dunkers that you can find. Tell the NBA players, thank you very much. I appreciate it, but we no longer need your service. I appreciate it. No, thank you. And no, you can't sit courtside during this dunk contest with all the best dunkers in the world. You can sit 2-3 rows back, but we're going to make sure that anybody who wants to sit up front and appreciate this is going to sit up front. You don't want to be in the dunk contest? You don't need to be up front putting on a show and got your outfits on and all that. No, thank you. They only want to sit there anyway to get their fits off. You know, they don't care about the dunk contest. They just want to get their fits off. So you, like I said, you scour the internet. If this last dunk contest doesn't trigger change, well, it'll never change. It'll never change. Period. Now, I do want to sort of touch on blame, right? Blame. I see a lot of people, who's to blame? Why has this happened? The superstars are to blame. LeBron is to blame. People blame LeBron because they say Jordan did it. Dominique Wilkins did it. Kobe did it. Sean Kemp did it. Larry Johnson did it. A lot of bona fide stars, superstars, did the dunk contest, and LeBron never did. And they feel like that was the start of other superstars and stars going, well, shoot, if LeBron ain't doing it, I'm not doing it. And that could very well be true. But you know what I never hear? I've heard people blame, Adam Silver, the commissioner. I've heard people blame a plethora of things. Okay? But you want to know who I never hear get any of the blame? Are the actual participants in the dunk contest. Never. You know why I watch the dunk contest every year? I never miss a dunk contest. I just love the weekend. I just do. It's just, it almost feels like I'm getting a break from playing in the NBA because I watch so much basketball. But you want to know who I'm starting to blame? I'm starting to blame the participants. Every single year the dunk contest happens, it's some young kids, young, fresh faces. I have never seen young people with such little imaginations and guts. I can't believe that people are still doing, like, as their best dunk, the through the legs, the East Bay through the leg dunk. I can't believe that is some of these young kids. These kids are in their early 20s, and that's the best they got. I'm sick and tired of telling that none of these dunkers are practicing. None of them. A lot of them want you to believe. They want you to think like, yo, I'm just going out here and I'm just figuring it out right now. I'm just freestyling it right now. You're not good enough of a dunker to go out there and freestyle it. You're not. Figure it out on the spot. You're not. And you're probably lying anyways. All right. The fact that the participants over the last 5 to 10 years have been unimaginative, scary, no guts, no effort. I blame them. I don't blame LeBron. I don't blame the NBA. I blame the people who are actually participating in the dunk contest. It wouldn't matter at the dunk if the actual players that were in the dunk contest actually put forth some super duper effort, some creativity, some imagination, we would never complain about it. It really doesn't matter that it's not superstars in it. The superstars in it just makes it a bigger draw for us to look, but that doesn't mean that they can do some of the dunks that we think that they can do just because we've seen them do some incredible stuff in the game. But I don't care if the last man on the bench gets in the dunk contest and goes out there and put on a show. Bravo. That was fire. Make a name for yourself another way in the NBA. Not everybody is going to be on the court playing. Not everybody, but you could be somebody. The McClung kid, we all know him now. All of us. He's not on an NBA team. He might be on a 10-day contract right now with the Bulls or somebody. His life is the G League and 10-day contracts. But guess what? If you watch basketball, we all know his name. I blame the participants. Young kids with no imagination? Man, did y'all color or go outside at all as kids? Did y'all jump on trampolines, do anything? Good God. Cats out there doing 360s. Are you okay? And if none of that works, I think it's time to just do some old-fashioned blackmail, all right? We're going to have to blackmail Ja and Zion. I'll be honest with you. Because here's the thing, if I was somebody, if I was the NBA commissioner or agent or somebody, I say, Zion, come here in this dark shadow. Come close. Come close. Hey, listen up, you two. You two were supposed to be very important figures in this league. You can't stop messing with girls with BBLs, and you can't stop messing with burners. You stay hurt. You stay hurt. Your team is trash. Your team is trash. Both of you have signed extremely large NBA contracts. The trade deadline just passed, and nobody wanted either one of you. So this is what's going to happen. I'm pretty confident that when your contract ends and your contract ends, the teams that you're on right now are probably not going to want you. Which means that if the teams don't want you that you're on right now, that means nobody will want you. Here's what I propose. I propose you two get into the dunk contest, put on a show, win or lose, I don't care. Just put on a show, and I promise you, I will make sure that you have a spot in the NBA. I promise you. If you don't want to, that's up to you. Take your own future in your own hands. That's up to you. But like I said, you like BBLs. You like burners. Your team sucks. Your team sucks. You've made a lot of money. You've made a lot of money. You stay hurt. You stay hurt. And neither one of you have provided anything to this league. But it's up to you. Old school blackmail. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Ja out here selling the most sneakers and colorways, Air Force Ones I've ever seen in my life, and you don't even play. Lord have mercy. The only player I see wearing your sneakers is Mikal Bridges. I think like one or two cats on the Spurs, maybe somebody on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Fire sneaker. But if the person, it's a signature sneaker and the signature athlete doesn't play. We don't even, another topic for another day. Let's talk about the All-Star game. All-Star game, phenomenal. USA versus the world. Now, I will tell you, and I tweeted this out, felt very MAGA. It felt very divisive. Our Americans versus our immigrants. It felt like that to me. I didn't think about it at the time, but when I started watching it, I went, wait a minute. This doesn't feel unified. This feels divisive. We got a team full of foreigners who weren't born in this country playing against our USA born. This feels like our current climate in our country. But nevertheless, play ball. Fire. Absolutely what we needed. Simple competition. Now, I will tell you something. Thank God for Victor Wembanyama. I think I said his name right? He went out there from the jump with super duper effort. Now, this is what I don't like. Anthony Edwards, shout out to him, won the MVP of the All-Star game. He said in his post-game interview that Wemby set the tone. If it wasn't for Wemby, Wemby got everybody else to play. If it wasn't for Wemby, nobody else probably would have played that hard. You could tell. Anthony Edwards was out there wearing both earrings. I think a couple of other players had chains on. And I said to myself, hold on, if you out here with both earrings on and chains, you had no intentions of actually coming out here putting forth effort. If it wasn't for Victor Wembanyama, if I'm not saying that right, oh well, Wemby, we would have had another whack All-Star game. Fortunately, it wasn't. It was very competitive. I'm not exactly sure if I like the U.S. versus the world thing. Especially If you're going to have players on your team like Joker and Luka, who are two of the top players in the entire world, in America and around the globe, only play 5 minutes, they don't need to be on the at all. Find replacement players for them, because the world maybe could have won if they would have actually played. I don't care if the team wants to shut them down, or I don't care. Then give up your spot to another world player who's going to go out there and bust their butt. Give it to Embiid. Give it to somebody else. Embiid may be a stretch, but you know what I mean. You got two of the best players in the world sitting on the bench while the world team lost both their games. Nevertheless, very competitive. I enjoyed the energy. I enjoyed the effort. I enjoyed seeing defense. I enjoyed seeing fouls, real refereeing. I didn't see one person take a shot from half court. I didn't see just random, in-game dunk contests all of a sudden. I didn't just see alley-oop after alley-oop after alley-oop. I saw block shots. That game might have had the most block shots in All-Star game history. And I'm making that up. I don't have the numbers in front of me. But I saw enough blocks to say I haven't seen that many block shots in about 10 years. Probably 20 years. I really enjoyed the All-Star game this year. I hope they make improvements to the dunk contest. That's all I got about All-Star Weekend. Actually, no, I'll talk about sneakers. All-Star Weekend sneakers. There was a lot of sneakers that came out this week. I think the one thing that with the sneaker releases that came out this All-Star Weekend, I thought they were honestly lackluster and lazy and sort of whack, to be honest with you. Nothing stood out. I always find it amusing how sneakerheads, which is why a lot of sneakerheads and a lot of people into sneakers don't like George and I's opinion, because they just can't fathom the thought of somebody going against how they feel or looking at something with a different light and being able to back it up with reasons why. There were a lot of people on social media and a lot of people that were sitting there acting like, oh my God, this All-Star Weekend releases are crazy. I saw a Jordan 40, that was like black red colorway, Ferrari 14s, the navy blue Dunk SB4s. I saw a Ben 6, which that Ben 6 is embarrassing. I saw some Ja Air Force Ones, that whole Nike basketball warning pack is what it was called. This is what I'll get to that at the end. Nothing worth anything to me that stood out at all. But that's your prerogative. Union Ones, I don't count. Union Ones, obviously, that's a big one that came out this week. Cool, I understand that. Union Ones, if you want to go ham for those, knock yourselves out. I 100% fully support you. But all that other stuff, knock it off. Knock it off. Most of that stuff that dropped this weekend, you'll be able to get for under retail on GOAT and StockX and everything. Facts. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty confident in what I'm saying right now. One thing about that warning pack, it had the book, it had a Giannis, it had a Ja, it had a LeBron, it had a Kobe. That Kobe too low, though. That Jordan's kind of fire. Kobe too low. Maybe not that colorway. But that warning pack also had, I think, a Asia and a Sabrina. This is NBA All-Star Weekend. Why didn't you save the Asia Wilson and the Sabrina warnings for the WNBA All-Star Weekend? Huh? I just don't understand things. Maybe I'm looking at stuff way too hard. Maybe I'm just dissecting it way too hard. Maybe I have an issue with just just go out there and just live in the moment, free spirit. Maybe it's me. But I don't understand why you're dropping WNBA players' signature sneakers during the NBA All-Star Weekend. WNBA has its own All-Star Weekend. Saw a few fights. Saw a few videos of people posting fights at sneaker lines, you know. I seen a lot of people at first surprised about that there were a lot of lines. That's just FOMO, fear of missing out. There are a lot of people, there's a lot of people who didn't need to be there for any of those sneakers. Now, some of them may have dreams of making hundreds of dollars reselling them. Some of them just may genuinely want it, I guess. But most of them just want to be a part of the fray, the fricas. They just want to be a part of it. A lot of it is for content. A lot of it is for just to be able to provide a story. Yo, I was there. I was in line for that. I was there. No, let me tell you what happened. That's all that is. There's a lot of people who participate in a lot of stuff just to participate it, just to say they participated. That's facts. I was there. I was in line. I was in line for it. Man, it was crazy. It was a lot of people. It was crazy, man. Like, it was nuts, man. I was there. I stood in line for like 6. I was there. That's all that is. And I get it, I guess. But at the same time, at some point, if you're going to want better, if you're going to want more, if you're going to want, things to get a little bit better in sneaker culture, you're going to have to actually put your foot down and take a stance and say, you know what? I'm good. Seen a lot of people post videos of people fighting in lines. I've seen about 2, 3, maybe 4 fights at separate locations throughout Los Angeles for sneakers. Let me tell you something. I don't condone fighting for sneakers, but I understand it. I understand it to a certain extent in certain places. I've talked about it numerous times on this podcast. We're going to stick to LA, but I'll talk about other locations. We're going to stick to LA. I'm from LA, from California. Okay? You may live 20 minutes from the mall. You may. But in California, add about another 40 minutes on top of it. Traffic, road conditions, construction, closures, events, just nonsense. But that's LA. That's California. It's just known. There's a lot of people who leave California, don't live in California, or want to leave California due to situations like that. A 20-minute drive can easily be an hour and a half. Easily. I've talked about this on this podcast numerous times when it came down to people fighting outside of places for sneakers. Not in all places. Here in Arizona, we have it good. If I see people here in Arizona fighting for sneakers, you're weird. You might be off. You might be touched by an angel. Like you're special. We got free parking everywhere. Parking lots everywhere. Beautiful weather. The only issue we have out here is that we may not get as many pairs at our stores as other places like Los Angeles would get, or Houston, or etc. If I'm in Los Angeles and I see cats fighting for sneakers, I get it. One, you got to pay for the sneakers. A lot of people don't take in consideration just the thought of how many people are out there in that line who should not be spending $200 for sneakers. They already stressed. They know that money should be going somewhere else more important in their lives, but God bless. Then you got to get to the location in Los Angeles. That's always hard. Then you got to find somewhere to park in Los Angeles. Then you got to wait in line in Los Angeles. And you could easily be waiting in line with somebody wearing a color to a gang or a group or affiliation or something that you just don't know. Not saying that took place in All-Star Weekend, but there are a lot of different people in LA. So, I've made the decision in my life to spend about $250 for a pair of sneakers. I made the decision to now drive through all types of conditions just to get to this store. I made the decision to just be driving around aimlessly, stressed out, trying to find parking, and I might have to pay for parking. And then I got to get in line with God knows who to a store that I have no idea if they even have enough pairs. I might fight somebody. Somebody might look at me weird or step on my shoe or bump me. We may start fighting. Same thing in New York. I get it. I live in this borough, but only this store is getting it. I took the subway to get here. It's cold. It's rainy. It's snowing. It stinks. It's dirty. I can't park. I got to find something. Man, the next person that looks at me weird, I might be fighting. I completely understand it. I don't condone it, but I understand it. Now, if you standing in line in Oregon scrapping for sneakers, evaluate your life. Find a chair in your house, sit into it, and just stare aimlessly until you can figure out what's wrong with you. Go find you a bar, get you a nice little, I don't know, get you an old fashioned, squeeze a little orange in that, sit there at the bar and think to yourself, why am I fighting for sneakers in Springfield, Illinois? But if you scrapping for sneakers in Los Angeles, New York, I'll even give you Houston, Dallas, Miami. Like I said, I don't condone violence whatsoever when it comes to sneaker buying, but I get it. And people fighting for sneakers outside does not mean sneakers is back. Do you know how many people DM'd me, sneakers are back? Now, they're probably joking. They're probably being facetious. But people fighting outside does not mean that sneakers are back. It just means that people are just in locations and places that they got no business being. I got nothing else. Short podcast, like I said, hour 20. I don't know how long this podcast is going to be. Something to get you a little bit through this week. We'll be back in studio next week. I'll probably have Don pull up as well if he can. If not, I'll see if somebody else can pull up. Appreciate everybody who likes, subscribes, share this podcast. I know people see me post a picture, a box of hats that I got. I will be posting those for sale. I don't know when. And just a reminder, if you got a problem with feeling different in this country or feeling different in different settings, you are not a friend of mine. That's the sneak diss. Pow!